Well, hello everybody, and thank you so much for joining us today. This is your guy, Mr. Mdongo. I'm your entrepreneurship trainer, business coach, and Mr. Automator. So many of you who are in business or who are sitting somewhere or who are busy with their own lives, there is only one subject that always makes people stumble sometimes. That makes the families fight, that makes your business grow, or your business fall down, or your business to actually die. So out of all of the people that I've been interacting with and people that I've been meeting, be it on social media or someone, there's one person that I've been following very closely, and she inspired me. She shared a lot of tips, a lot of points that if you are to use them in your own life, in your business, I'm telling you, your life and your business will never be the same. Please help me welcome Cassie. How are you, Cassie?
Thank you so much. I'm doing well. Thank you, Munya. Thank you so much for inviting me. One honor because I've seen your work and you do amazing work. So it's absolutely an honor.
Thank you so much. Before we even dive deep, I think I just want to clarify this. There is power in networking. I met you through a mutual friend that I actually met you through a mutual friend, Jay, who is actually speaking and dominating also on my platforms as well. I actually met Jay through a mutual friend. So there's power in networking, like what I always talk about, like networking for success. Yeah. So thank you so much for making time to come here. I know you've got a very big schedule, but can you please tell us who is Cassie?
Yeah, absolutely. First off, I do want to thank Jay. She has brought so many wonderful people into my life. You're one of them. So thank you, Jay. I know you will be listening. Like Munya said, I am Cassie Ferrer. I am a money coach and I help individuals and families to get out of debt, achieving financial success, and do some financial planning and get to where they want to be.
Wow, so you help people in all these things, but guess what? We are going to unpack everything because we really want to know what exactly do you do. And right now, especially with this technology, I'm sure you are not only helping people who are in the United States, so you can help anyone who is everywhere, who is in any place. The same way we just met. Yeah. So
Yeah.
yes, yeah.
Absolutely. And I guess I'll introduce myself a bit as well. Most importantly, I'm a mom of two young children, age 4 and 6, almost 7. And they're keeping me busy, probably consuming 90% of my energy. I'm a wife and I'm a business owner. As I mentioned, I'm a money coach. And before starting my consulting firm, I worked as a first vice president at two major banks managing the underwriting team for private wealth and commercial. So I'm very familiar with the financial industry. And during the time working in the financial industry, I developed deep passion in helping individuals and families achieving financial success because growing up, I really didn't have that financial stability. So for me, it means a lot for me to be able to provide for my family. So seeing a lot of families and businesses not able to support their families from their business or even from their wages because they're living paycheck to paycheck and not able to achieve financial freedom, I've decided to step down from my corporate job this year and started my consulting firm. And it's been going really well. I have been able to help a lot of individuals to improve their financial health and gain financial confidence. So it's very rewarding, and I'm working on like group session and coaching and courses. So it's been going really well.
Amazing. Amazing. So all of this, how many people do you know who have been working in the same position as you, but who are just sitting out there, who are not doing anything? So what made you different from them? What actually made you to choose to call yourself, I am the money coach? So what really made you to dive into this and help people who actually who are living on this earth without knowing exactly how powerful can they be, if only they can know how to use and how to strategize, how to structure their financials?
Yeah, so I would say probably my experience, not really work experience alone, because there are a lot of people working in the financial industries that are struggling with finance themselves. But it's my personal experience. So, like I mentioned, growing up, I was really struggling with financial stability. My stepdad had gambling problems, so I was really um, facing a lot. My family were facing a lot of financial struggles. So we used to have to move from like apartment to apartment because my stepdad would be like gambling our money away, and so it was always important for me to have financial freedom, and especially once I started my family. But it didn't always start out easy, because I actually have a BA in finance and I had a MBA. But early age, I made massive financial mistake that cost me a lot of money and a lot of headache. So I learned from those mistakes, and of course, it was embarrassing because I one instant I purchased my very first home at the age of 23, like right out of college, and got a banking job. I'm like, yeah, now I have money. I'm gonna buy a home because I associated home ownership with success. It was the worst time for me to buy because everyone else was buying. So it was just a bad mistake, and I didn't do financial planning. I was financing 100%, and I was living above my means because I was really care more about my ego than my financial health, right? So I made all those mistakes early in the year, and I learned from those mistakes, because then I learned the right time to buy. I learned the right loan structure to use. I learned to budget and how I can get out of debt completely. So I went through that mistakes and not what to do and how to do it. So my husband and I purchased another home again, not my very first, but our very first home, before my daughter was born. And we were able to actually generate over 300 return on the investment on that home. And we were able to pay that mortgage off in 27 months. We purchased another one, upgraded home, and paid that off within 3 years as well. So my mission now is to share the knowledge that I have. Really, within the whole time I was working in the financial industry, the headache that I had, the heartache that I had, a lot of the planning I had to do to get to where I'm at now, and to really help other people to do the same.
Amazing. So just to be quite clear, you are not training us and you are not showing us what you read or what you have been doing at work, because there are some other things that people do in the corporate for the sake of the paycheck to just come, but you are sharing with us the experience that you have went through, not your experience of work, but your own personal experience with money. I love it. I love it. So what do you think are some of the mistakes that people, or I can say problems, challenges, mistakes that people are still facing right now, or are still doing, that you also did, about money, that might actually cause them either to lose a lot of money or either not to make a lot of money? What are some of money problems? It can be general, it can be deeper, it can be what you have went through, or it can be what other people are actually going through right now.
Yeah, I would say improper planning. A lot of the people that I talk to, they don't even have a budget. And if they do, they don't really stick to it. And the main reason, Munya, is because people don't have a budget that that is in line with their values and priorities. And couples are arguing about money because if they do have a budget, that budget is not in line with both of their values and priorities. So I see that a lot. It's just improper planning. So they don't know how much they need to put away every month so they can reach their retirement goal. They don't know how much they need to put away to fund their emergency, or even having an emergency fund, and being reactive versus proactive. And a lot of those can be prevented if proper planning was in place. So that's why I really emphasize financial planning, budgeting, and preparing to reach your financial freedom. So you can actually do those steps so you can get out of debt. And then the next step is to invest your money and optimize your return to get to financial freedom. But I personally do think that it's important for families to first get out of debt because of that huge lift off your shoulder. Now, are there times that are good to get debt? Absolutely. If you have a certain situation, normally a lot of wealthy people apply those strategies. However, personally, I didn't get into debt for that strategy. Maybe in the future, once we have enough cash flow reserve, because I want to make sure that I have enough cash flow to support the family, and I have like a side investment for those, then I can leverage it and use that. And what does that mean? Like, I used to manage the private wealth underwriting team, and wealthy people use this strategy a lot. They will have the brokerage account that is performing about 10 to 15% annual interest. But instead of like using their investment to purchase, let's say, real estate, they see like a good opportunity to buy, they would obtain a line of credit against their own investment. And that interest rate might only be 3 or 4% because it's against their own investment. So you can continue to earn that, percentage in the brokerage account, and using that line of credit to purchase at a very low rate. So, that way they're not having to touch that investment that is having earned interest. However, your debt is unlikely gonna, it is very unlikely that you will be able to perform as such percentage to offset your debt, especially credit card debt. So really, there is no reason to leverage your credit card debts. It should just be paid off.
Wow. So improper planning, that's the first thing that is still the biggest animal that everybody is trying to go and kill. Improper planning, because this is money we are talking about here. You might be making $20,000 each and every month, but at the end of the month, there will be still more months at the end of the money. And a lot of people wonder, then where is the money? Because my account is telling me that I made 20,000, but in my account, I actually have got minus $20. So where is the money? Simply because we are failing to plan with whatever we are doing. Wow, I love that. I love that. So help me. Since we are failing to plan, then why budgeting? Why do I really need budgeting? Do I need budgeting? And how do I even do that? Because I've been always having the money have been coming each and every time, but sometimes it just vanish, and then I'll think like, okay, I don't know what's happening, where's the money? Maybe there's somebody who's coming and taking. Yeah, something like that. So why budgeting? How can one create even a small budget, a small personal budgeting as well?
Yeah, so most people think of budgeting and they don't do it because they're thinking like it's a limitation, it's a diet. It's like there is restricting them from doing what they want to do. And that's why they don't do it. But when you think about it, budgeting is really just allocating your resources. It's one way of allocating your resources. So so the people that don't like budgeting, I usually ask them, do you have some kind of a schedule? You're like, do you have like a time blocking, like what time you're doing what? And if you're a business owner, like, do you have a schedule? Like, what time do you usually do your work? And if you don't have a schedule, at least you're doing some kind of productive work, right? Like you're doing something. And they're like, yeah, I used to have a schedule. And I'm like, let me ask you, do you think you'll be able to be more productive if you have some kind of schedule? And they're usually like, yeah, of course, because if you spend all day watching YouTube or watching TV, or, you're not doing anything productive, you're not going to be able to get the results. So why wouldn't you do that with money? Why wouldn't you time block your money and put the money in the right bucket so it would do what it do? So you'll be able to use later use your money to make more money, right? So allocation of resources is a form of budgeting. Well, I should say budgeting is a form of allocating your resources, putting your money in the right place so you can optimize your future return. So the way to think about it is really a way to your financial freedom is the foundation. And budgeting alone really allow us to pay off our mortgage debt quickly, because if we didn't have a proper budget, we wouldn't be able to be debt free and enjoy the financial freedom that we have now. So absolutely important. I know it can get overwhelming because you're looking at your bills like, oh, I have so much going on. It doesn't need to be. I mean, number one is just you do it during the day that you feel like you are positive minded. Like, today is my day to do it. Take a deep breath and start with the fixed item first, like your rent, your insurance, your monthly bills, like the utilities, maybe like use average, but start with the items that are fixed first, because then it's easier. Then on utilities and groceries, you want to use average. What has the average usage? And one tip, if you have utilities, if you live in a place that fluctuate a lot in the weather, like some month is really cold and some month is really hot, so your electricity bill fluctuates. You want to maybe consider level pay, so contacting your utility companies and see if they can level pay, so you pay the same amount every month. That might help with your budget. So just go item by item, but start with the one that is fixed first, and then you get all the household expenses first, and then you allocate the rest for discretionary. What are the discretionary expenses? That's eating out. That's your going out money, like your wants, right? You're shopping, you're going out to a movie. But my recommendation is you want to budget some for that. Because if you don't budget for that, you're going to go crazy and say, why am I doing this? Why am I working so hard, not able to do anything that I want? And this is why in the beginning I said your budget should be in line with your values and priorities, right? So if your budget is not in line, you're not going to follow it.
So you even budget your airtime, you even budget everything, your wants, your outgoing. If you just feel like okay, I think at least once a month I need to go and have breakfast, lunch, and dinner at this restaurant, you need to budget that and put it down. Every money that your transport money, even even also the money you even give to homeless people in the street when they're begging you need also to budget, because it must be there, it must be available, so that you won't end up taking the money you're supposed to pay your monthly rent, or the money you're supposed to pay all these systems. You now go and take it, and then you're not paying the tomorrow the system is gonna bounce, simply because you don't have the money. Wow, thank you so much for that. But with the budget that we have, there's two other people who are having these budgets. You know what, Cass? They do have these budgets that are so intact, and they try to follow through, they try to be guided by that, but they are still broke. What make people stay and remain broke, regardless of how much money are they getting? What make people stay and remain broke?
Yeah, so there are multiple factors. Number one, mindset. Because if you think of like budgeting is like restriction, right? Instead of looking at the way that budgeting help you control your money versus letting money controls you. If you think of that you have control of your money, number one, you know that you will be able to reach financial freedom. So part of it is mindset, right? That you can achieve financial freedom. And another thing about mindset is Some people, they have the lack mindset, so they have a lot of money blocked. So even though that's why a lot of lottery winners, we remain broke because they don't have the mindset of the knowledge of how to manage their money.
Sure.
So I'll say mindset and knowledge. Another thing is human nature that we spend everything, right? Everything that we have, it needs to go away. Human nature, the more money that we have, the more money we'll use. So the best way to protect you from that temptation is number one, budgeting, and figure out what are you going to use with the overage, because you don't want to budget every money that you bring in. You budget under how much you bring in, and then you save the rest. So whether it's 10%, 20%, 30%, 5%, or even 1%, you should always have an auto savings system so you don't use everything that you have in that account. So one of the tips that I give my clients is, if you feel like you have that mindset that you live paycheck to paycheck and you can never build wealth, then just, set up auto savings system, even at 1%. But like, another thing that I want them to do is to see the power of how they are able to control money by just moving a few couple of dollars into their savings account every day. So they know that I am in control of my money, and I always have something left to use. So that's one technique that I use with my clients.
Mindset, 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 mindset. Mindset is everything. Because
Absolutely.
um, if I was born knowing that, okay, whatever come, it must go. If I was born knowing that money burns pocket, so I have to use it before my pocket burn, but it's gonna burn my pocket and go straight to my thighs, so I have to let it go. That mindset, it really have to go. But now, so what are those some of the tips? I know you also share this with your client. So what are some of the tips of just making sure that your mindset is in the right channel, especially when it comes to money? What are some of the tips that can help someone to actually improve their mindset?
Yeah, I would say number one, watch out the language that they use, because what you think, what you say is often become your belief. And another thing is too is practice gratitude. So a lot of people, when they see bills or expenses, or they think of that, they just they think of they have negative emotion toward it, and they avoid. Some of them might avoid it. So if you practice gratitude, think about, let's say you have your internet bill, but that's because you're able to enjoy the your entertainment, stay connected with your loved one. And if you have electricity bill, it's because you're able to have electricity and you're able to take a shower in the morning. So practice gratitude, knowing why you're grateful for the money that you have as well as your bill. I think that's critical. I love this book, The Magic, from Rhonda Bride. She's the same author as The Secret. Love that book. Check it out. I mean, it has a lot of practical gratitude practices that you can use.
Wow. Because if you are not grateful, which means you are just in a place of lack, so you always see everything as a lack, and you are always chasing around things simply because you are not grateful. Yeah, thank you so much for also bringing that. So tell me, so where can people get to know you? What is it that you can also give to them, and how can people connect with you? Because you are such an amazing, a blessing soul to this planet Earth, and everyone need to understand, need to learn more and more from you guys. And I am telling you, with the short time that we have, I've learned quite a lot of things. Some of the things, yeah, I might say that, yes, yeah, I run this business that is big, but if I have some of the things that you are doing, I think I was supposed to be 10 times successful than what I am right now. So thank you so much for sharing that. And so where can people get you, sir?
Yeah, absolutely. So you can reach me for Facebook. I'm always very active on Facebook,
Very.
and you can just look me up, Cassie Ferrer, and you'll see my picture, my family's photo. Actually, it would say that that's free family. I also have a free Facebook group
Yeah.
called the That's Free Family. So if you just search Facebook group, the That's Free Family, again, you will see my family photo. Um, and I do monthly workshop. I do monthly workshop about budgeting, savings, how do you reach your financial goals. And I also have a free 30-day debt cleanse planner. If you would like to have a planner as a guide on how you will be able to have jump to a good start to getting debt free. So certainly reach out to me if you'd like to have the debt planner. I'll be happy to send you one.
Mm, great. So, so actually, please connect with her on all of the links that we are putting in the description, and even also the link to that debt cleanse planner. You can also get it down there. So thank you so much, Cassie, and thank you so much for watching. Please keep on watching, and if you haven't joined the BNC Academy, where we are also training a lot of people, and where you are getting such interviews like this interview, please click on the link below again and sign up and be there and watch some of the interviews we did with some of the biggest people on this earth from all over the world. Cassie, I just want to say thank you so much for showing up, and thank you so much for sharing all these amazing tips with us. I hope everybody have learned, and everybody is also gonna be touched as well. And please keep on commenting and download. Connect with her. She's an amazing. So her group, she goes live. She posts videos every time. I say, how are you doing this? Yeah. So thank you so much.
Thank you, Munya. It's such a pleasure and honor.
I'm glad.